Love it, live it, race it.
Hey guys, this is Jeff from Willspec Garage. This is our episode 2 with Sheila right behind me. I'm Jeff Webb, the owner of Sheila over here. It's a 99 Jeep Wrangler Sahara. I had a bit of work done to her, and that's what we're here to talk about. So I named her Sheila just because we were stranded in that Coral Canyon way back when, probably like a decade ago. We were a little bit inebriated, but the first thing that popped in my head was in the Sahara, so the Sahara Desert. I imagined what kind of tourist would be in the Sahara Desert. For some reason, it was Australian. And then I was trying to understand or trying to think of an Australian lady name because I'm not riding in a man all day. So the first thing I thought of is if somebody's wandering off, what's the husband gonna say to the wife? They're like, "Oi, Sheila, get over here." So that's what I thought of. So I named her Sheila. Marine Corps, and then my friends had off-road vehicles, trucks, Jeeps, a couple other things, and then at the time I was in the market for one of those off-road vehicles, and then just found a really, really cheap Jeep. A couple of things wrong with her, but nothing that we couldn't fix over a weekend. But bought her, and then that's how everything started. We was off-roading her stock for a really, really long time, like breaking a lot of stuff, but repairing everything that we had, and no modifications done. And then slowly more and more things started breaking, and then at that time I was like, well, we need to make some upgrades. Had clutches replaced, like one of the arms was completely destroyed after one off-roading session down in San Diego. Just way too much abuse, and I thought I'd spoil her with a couple new things.
Okay. And before you spoiled her, right? Like, as it is right now, it's gone through 2 whole renditions, right?
Yes.
So V1 was just completely stock, right?
Version 1 was completely stock. Then we put the long arm in. That was the first major change that we did with Sheila, and then after that we did axle swaps on her, and then big tires. So that was the next big rendition of it.
And so then you mentioned we. So who's we?
I say we. It's Will from Willspec Garage. He was a friend of mine that I met through work, and then had a passion for off-roading, and then we just got together, and then one thing led to another. Everything was still drivable, but there was a lot of wobbly parts, so we ended up swapping the whole front axle, went to a pick and pull junkyard. My friend was able to find an axle. I think I paid $15 for it, just because it was whatever fit in a wheelbarrow, I think. And he installed it for me. It fit right on, just all the worn parts, I think it was the front right arm was messed up. Had some other friends find another part for me. I think I spent $60 on it, and then ended up swapping that out. It was easy. And then as things went along, smaller stuff went out. At one point, it didn't even have rear brakes. I was not nice to it.
The one that mainly did all the work.
Will did a lot of the work. I helped out with all the heavy stuff, and then I tightened the bolts, and then the ideas, like the whole front bumper was designed from what we wanted to be. He wanted to go crazy on it. I thought simplicity was key. So it just came out very, very square, very, very simple, and then just match with the lines of the Jeep rather than trying to make anything too much complicated.
So there was a little bit of like differences of opinion here.
Oh yeah.
So like if you were to have this entire build your whole way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how would it be looking the way it is right now, or would there be some differences?
There'd be a lot of differences, honestly. Like the tires wouldn't be as big. I wanted to go 35s. I didn't want Dana 60s. I wanted 44s just because, one, it's easy on the budget, and two, it's just like a lot. I just wanted to go fast rather than raw crawl, but my ideas changed further on towards after going to the King of the Hammers event down south. I figured why not aim it more towards a hybrid rather than just specialize in one thing.
So, first off, Jeff came in with multiple problems. He had a clutch issue, he had an AC issue, just a plethora of issues. But the main thing was a clutch. So it took care of that. So, as a good friend, I think the best thing would be, let's start modifying this thing, because you're going to be neck deep into this, so we might as well just do it. So I recommended, with further research, a local shop or a local manufacturer called Metal Cloak. They're the ones who manufacture TJ long arm systems. Figure we go from there. So that's where everything started from. So we did the long arm from Metal Cloak with their springs. It's 4.5 inch lift, by the way. Did the slip yoke eliminator, shorten the drive shafts, did all the things necessary. Did a center force dual friction clutch, just all the maintenance stuff. This thing, sorry Jeff, this thing was pretty neglected. So that's why I really suggested to go ahead and let's go all the way with it. So this is version 1. When you raise the vehicle up, the number one thing is it'll allow you to accommodate more diameter tire. But not just that, it's going to allow you to articulate, right? There's many people who just do it just for the look. This is a purpose-built vehicle, so when we raised it up to the long arm, let me emphasize on long arm, it allows the vehicle to articulate. When you articulate, you're allowed to go over the obstacles a lot easier. The goal is to have all 4 wheels planted at all times, no matter what the situation is. So articulation is key. The places that we go to, Johnson Valley, also known as King of the Hammers, it's a very technical trail. There's a lot of rocks, lots of big boulders. You got backdoor. You got Chocolate Thunder. Having a short arm, it's just going to limit you. When you have a long arm, game over. I don't care how lifted your vehicle is. If you have a long arm, you're good to go. Depending how challenging that obstacle is, then you need to start upgrading. Trust me, this is just a big money pit. Let me disclose that. You're going to need lockers. So I'm not going to get into how limited slip works or how all lockers work. When you have 4x4, all 4 wheels doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to spin all the time. You're going to need a locker system. So when all 4 wheels are planted, a locker system will allow you to have all 4 wheels spinning all at once, simultaneously, no questions asked. It was definitely, because it raised the vehicle up, besides the aesthetic, because he still ran the 31s for quite some time. That's another story.
Compared to these, how big are 31s compared to these?
Significantly. Just by doing the math, they're 6 inches bigger, but you got to go 3 inches above, 3 inches on bottom. That's the difference. It's the performance. Going back to long arm, he was able to plant, even though he didn't have a locker system, nothing. It was open differential. He was able to articulate and clear the obstacles because it gave him more ground clearance, and he was able to keep as much tire on the obstacle as possible. He was able to keep it all planted. When it was planted, he was able to go and conquer whatever obstacle he went at. First of all, let's start with expense. Being a Jeep, everything's expensive. They're just up there, right? 2, there's a plethora of parts. It's like a Honda Civic. I'm going to reference a lot of stuff to the Honda Civic, Honda Integra. You name it, they got it. So there's just a huge market for it. The ease of working on it, yes, that's the reason why they're so popular, is because they're super easy to work on. When it comes to the fabrication, that's the fabricator. Depending how much pride he takes on his work, he'll just take it to that level. He's already got something easy to work on. He has a good platform. Now he just needs to show off his talents. So that's the talent. That's the story I got behind Sheila, because she was already easy to work on. Now I want to show off my fabricating skills. So you'll see a lot of my fabricating skills on here. I bought the equipment, you name it, and I just showed it off on her.
You say we showed it off on her. What specifically did you fab up that we can see?
What's going on, guys? Will Spec here. You just saw version 1, part 1 of Sheila. Now you're going to go see version 2, part 2 of Sheila. This is going to have some exotic parts, a lot of fabrication, alright? I said that twice. the reason why we're taking this to King of the Hammers. Until then, love it, live it, race it.